At the top of the Yamaha MG124CX, you will notice the input and output section. Below that is the channel section. Next to the channel section is Yamaha's built-in effects, group 1 and 2, and the master control stereo out. Channels 1 through 4 use mono XLR mic inputs. Stereo channels 5 and 6, 11 and 12 use 2 unbalanced 1/4 inch inputs. Below the mic inputs are the line inputs. Channels 1 through 4 use balanced 1/4 inch jacks. Stereo channels 5 and 6 through 11 and 12 have 2 unbalanced 1/4 inch inputs. Stereo channels 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 have additional RCA inputs. Channels 1 through 4 have an insert send and return for plugging in additional devices such as equalizers, compressors, or noise gates. These 1/4 inch jacks carry both the send and return signal. Channels 1 through 8 have a gain control which is used to adjust the input signal for the channels. Next to the gain control is the high-pass filter that cuts frequencies below 80 Hz. Below the gain is the control knob for Yamaha's built-in compressor. As the knob is turned to the right, the compression ratio increases while the output gain is automatically adjusted. Next to the EQ is the peak indicator for the channels. The peak indicator lights red whenever the signal reaches 3 dB below clipping. The EQs are broken up into high, mids, and lows. Channels 9 and 10, 11 and 12 only have 2 band EQs, the highs and the lows. The auxiliary pre-switch selects whether the pre-fader or post-fader signal is sent to the auxiliary bus. The white effects control adjusts the level of the signal sent from the channel to the effects bus, also known as auxiliary 2. The pan determines the stereo positioning. Some channels have balance. The balance controls on channels 5 and 6 through 11 and 12 controls the input that is received from the mic or line inputs of these stereo channels. Make sure the on switch is on to send the signal through the channel. You'll probably end up using these switches as your channel mutes. The PFL switch, or pre-fader listen switch, lets you monitor the channel's pre-fader signal by routing the signal to the monitor output section. The 1 and 2 switch buses the channel signal to group 1 and 2. We can assign the drums at channels 1 through 4 to group 1 and 2 for easier controlling. The red ST switch assigns the channel signal to the stereo left and right buses. And of course the channel faders adjust the level of the channel signal. To the left of the meter, you will find the switch for the 48 volt phantom power. This switch toggles the phantom power off and on. When the switch is on, the mixer supplies phantom power to all the channels. So you will want to make sure that the switch is off if your mic doesn't use phantom power. Below the phantom power is the master, sends, and returns. You have 2 auxiliaries and 2 returns. In the master section, if the monitor switch is set to group, then the output signal from group 1 and 2 are sent to the monitor output section. If it is set to stereo, then the signal from the stereo left and right are sent to the monitor output section. The MG124CX also has an additional input for 2-track devices such as CD players or MP3 players. If the 2-track switch is set to monitor, then the signal is routed to the monitor section. If switched to stereo, then the external sound source is sent to the stereo left and right buses. On channel 1 we have the kick. Channel 2, the snare. The rest of the kit is picked up by 2 mics. They're channels 3 and 4. Stereo channels left over for guitars, vocals.